All right, welcome back from that super long 30-second pause. Now we're going to be looking at the Second Amendment, okay? So hopefully the First Amendment helped you out, and hopefully you're practicing right now. We're going to practice a little bit as we keep going, okay? Second Amendment's easy. It's the right to bear arms, to use arms, to have arms, and that's a big debate going on. That's the Second Amendment. How can you remember that one? Simple. You got one finger, two fingers, bam. You have a make-believe gun, right? 1, 2. Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms. Unless you're hood and you try to use this one, but don't, okay? We're all civilized people. You want to go ahead and use First Amendment, Second Amendment, okay? So that's the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. So right now, Mr. Baeza and Ms. Gutierrez are going to pause this, and I want you to write in your own words what the Second Amendment is, okay? So they're going to pause it. All right, awesome. Now we're going to get a little ghetto, very creative. We're going to look at the Third Amendment, okay? Hopefully everybody can see this right here. What is that? It'd be cool if you guys actually said British soldier right now, but it's a British soldier, okay? Third Amendment. British soldiers were trying to, prior to the American Revolution, used to have something called the Quartering Act, where you had to keep the British soldiers in your house, feed them. If not, you get in trouble. Well, when they do the Constitution, when they write the Constitution, they use a Third Amendment, which is basically the No Quartering Soldiers Act. Okay, that's what the amendment is. Third Amendment says that if a British soldier or a U.S. soldier, anybody is trying to stay at your house, the Third Amendment's like a fence. They cannot go in, okay? That's the Third Amendment. Or you could have your fence like this, you know, you're blocking them from coming into your house. You're just telling them no. All right, that's the Third Amendment. Okay, so go ahead and pause it again, Mr. Baeza and Ms. Gutierrez, and let them write it in their own words what it is. Okay, awesome. Okay, now what you're gonna do next is let's practice these 3 together, okay? So I can't see you there, obviously, but let's do this, okay? I'll say it and you do the gesture with your fingers what it is. No quartering soldiers. Go ahead and do that one right now for me. Hopefully you're doing it. Not that's really awkward, but go ahead and do that. Okay, awesome job. I'm gonna take it. Let's do freedom of religion. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do freedom of speech. Okay, awesome. Let's do freedom of press. Okay. Hey, that was a good one. You were right there. Yeah, you. Awesome. Okay. We did right to bear arms. Okay. Okay, look at you. You're gonna be part of the NRA one day. Good for you. All right, and last but not least, let's do the right to assemble. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's move on. The next one we're gonna look at is the Fourth Amendment, okay? The Fourth Amendment basically says that it's called the Search and Seizure Act, or that's what the Constitution basically does in that Fourth Amendment. So what it is, for example, that if a police officer wants to look in your house, look in your car, they have to have one or two things. Probable cause or a search warrant. That's why it's the search and seizure. That's why it's known as a search and seizure. They have to have a search warrant. So basically, if a cop goes to your house, this is your house, very white, you need to paint it, by the way. They knock, you open the door, hey officer, how can I help you? If they tell you they want to search your house, so I'm the officer now, like, sir, we're here to search your house. You would ask them 2 questions. What's your cause, or do you have a search warrant? The cop at that time must do this. Okay, I want you to look at the fingers that I drop. Boom! Like you drop a piece of paper, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4. They drop a piece of paper like, here's my search warrant. Okay, here it is. They show it to you. Once you open the door, they show you the search warrant, and they tell you, I'm gonna look into your house because they have a search warrant. If not, it's probable cause. If you open the door and there's people like burning behind you and people are getting shot, then they could definitely look into your house. But if not, they need to have a search warrant. Now, if you say, hey, times have changed, they don't have paper warrants, you're right. You could get something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have, there is like an iPad, and they'll be like, here's my search warrant. It's just digital. So that's a Fourth Amendment. Search warrant, paper-wise, or search warrant, digital, but that's 4. Okay, awesome. So go ahead and pause and write in your own words with your partner what you think it is, in your own words. Okay, glad everybody's back. Sorry for being so ugly and being on the screen for so long. Let's go into the Fifth Amendment, all right? This one's pretty simple. There's 2 parts of it. The first one's simple, okay? Let's say you're driving, a cop pulls you over. First thing the cop's gonna do is gonna ask you to get out of the car, and then the next thing you know, the cop thinks that you're one of the people on the most wanted list because you look exactly like that guy. So he tells you, put your hands up, put them up right now. Most of us, when they tell us to put our hands up, what do? We're never like this, or we're never like, word, I'm gonna put them up. Usually we always go like this, right? In almost every movie we've seen. How many fingers do I have on each hand right now? 5, okay? Keep that in mind, I have 5. What the cop tells you next, you've all probably heard. You have the right to remain. Hopefully you're saying it right now. If not, then I just look kind of silly. The right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That is the moment that you have the Fifth Amendment. When he tells you you have the right to remain silent, I want you to get your 2 hands with the 5 on there, with the 5 fingers. Right to remain silent. The right to remain silent. So that's a Fifth Amendment. They have to tell you your rights. They're called Miranda rights because they arrested a Mexican-American citizen without telling him his right to remain silent. That's a Fifth Amendment. 5, right to remain silent, okay? Other thing about the Fifth Amendment, let's say they arrest me, correct? Later on, they find out that they take me to court, everything, I'm innocent. A couple of months later, they actually find a video where I committed a crime. I recorded it, I Snapchatted it, I Vined it, I tweeted it, I shared it with everybody after the fact. Let's say the crime was, I don't know, kicking a cute puppy, something evil like that, right? If I went to court and they found me innocent of kicking a cute puppy, but then again, I send out all that evidence, here's a kind of funny and sad thing. They can't send me to court. I mean, they can't convict me or find me guilty of 1st degree of kicking a puppy, a cute puppy. It has to be the 2nd degree. Once you're found innocent of something, you can't be guilty of it. It has to be something lesser, which means less time in jail or less punishment. And that's, again, the Fifth Amendment. Remember, when you put your hands up when they're about to arrest you, there's 2 hands with 5 fingers. The right to remain silent. I mean, on the rights, but it's also called double jeopardy. 1, 2. When they find you innocent of something, that's it. You're innocent for life. They have to get you for something less. Okay, so go ahead and pause this and write down what the Fifth Amendment is to you in your own words with your partner. Okay, Sixth Amendment. Sixth Amendment is pretty simple. In America, you have the right to a speedy trial, okay? With a lawyer and with witnesses and jurors and all that good stuff. So, that's the Sixth Amendment, okay? So you're thinking, how am I gonna do this with my hands to help you remember this? I think you've caught on to it, right? Simple. When you go to court or when you see it on TV, is the judge sitting like at eye level? Are you guys both just looking at each other and like, hey, how's it going, buddy? No, the judge is usually on top of a podium of some sort, but he is elevated and he's looking down on you. And so, voila. How do you remember that the Sixth Amendment is the right to a speedy trial? Simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Pretend this is like that podium where he sits and the judge is at the very top. And if I had money, I would buy a watch, and that's where it would be. And so it's the right to a speedy trial. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the judge looking down on you, ready to tell you whether you were guilty or innocent. Okay? Sixth Amendment. So go ahead and pause it. Do what you need to. Now, before I die of lung collapse, we're going to look at a couple more minutes. These are a little bit easier. But let's practice the last 3 that we did. You guys ready? Okay. Show me right now. Double jeopardy. What is double jeopardy? Ah, nice. Very nice. Okay. Hopefully you're doing it. I don't want to feel dumb right now. Let's look at search and seizure. Go ahead and do search and seizure right now. Very good. Very good. Very nice. What about the Miranda rights, the right to remain silent? How do you do that one? You're a pro. Natural. Natural. Okay, and last but not least, let's do the right to a speedy trial. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to look at some of the more unknown ones. We're going to start with the Seventh Amendment. That one's simple. There's different types of courts. Let's say if you commit a crime, let's say you murder someone because you got a bad grade in Mr. Baez's class or in Ms. Gutierrez's class. You're just super upset, right? Are you going to go to the same court for somebody who didn't pay a traffic ticket? Or maybe somebody who borrowed money from a friend and didn't pay him back? There's different types of courts, okay? The Seventh Amendment's pretty simple. Okay, so I want you to go like this. So everybody go ahead and do this. Seventh Amendment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically says they'll take you not to criminal court, but to civil court if what you're going to be arguing is worth $20. Okay, if it's worth $20 or more. So the Seventh Amendment says it has to be worth $20 or more for you to go to civil court. Not where you committed a horrible crime, but something smaller like, borrowing money and not paying it back, things of that nature. Okay, your teachers probably already talked to you about that one. So that's the Seventh Amendment, $20 or more. Cool? Okay, it's getting hot in here. It's making me cough more. All right, so let's write these bad boys down because we're almost coming to the end now. So we've done first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Now we're going to look at the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Okay? The 8th Amendment we're looking at is cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? So how do I explain this one? Which do you think is your most valuable finger on your hand? And be like, your wedding finger, sir. Or you'd be like, this one, because that's where I pick my nose, right? No. I'm going to tell you what. I know what your most valuable finger is. Okay? Your thumb. Your thumb. Think about it. Just think about it. So the 8th Amendment is cruel and unusual punishment, which basically says if you commit a crime, the government can't punish you in a cruel or unusual way. Okay? How are you going to remember that? Simple. Let's pretend you committed a crime in my class or against me or anybody that I care for. What essentially happens is that I would find you, by the way, this is just a dramatization. I would never do this. Don't tell your parents. I would find you. And the first thing I would do is I would cut your thumb on each hand. And you'd be bleeding. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. But no, I wouldn't let you pass out. I would cap it and you would have the bleeding stop, but you'd have no thumb. Okay? So now you could use your cell